Hey, what's up, everybody? Today is April 8th. It seems, if not for the weather, like August. Time is dragging over here. I'm not sure how you guys feel, but this is uh, this is a little difficult. Uh, Mr. Warnock has asked the teachers to take a step back today and tomorrow to kind of go over some new routines as we're continuing with this remote learning model. Um, I have a few announcements to make, announcements I'm sure you are aware of. The first being that Governor Cuomo has pushed back our anticipated return date to April 29th. That is the best case scenario that we return to school April 29th. I don't know whether that's going to happen, but that's what the governor said. Another thing that came down from the governor's office is that the Regents exams are canceled. So on one hand, that's a negative because we've been preparing to take Regents exams, um, but on the other hand, it's a positive because now I can kind of let loose and teach you guys the stuff that I want to teach. And that's going to start next week with some Hitler stuff, some Mussolini stuff, some Stalin stuff, so we can really get a good understanding of why World War II happened. And I think you guys will have more of a connection with the events that come after that. So that's exciting in that regard. Now, about the Regents exams, you're not taking them. Um, I'm making a video right now, Julian. Thanks. You're not taking them. But there was an email sent out by the Chancellor, Richard Carranza, which said that any student who is signed up to take a Regents exam um, that passes that course will get credit for that Regents exam. Now, I'm not 100% sure that that applies to 8th graders because the email did say 9 through 12. So I'm going to have to double check that with Mr. Warnock. I asked Ms. Jones to check on it as well. I'll give you further updates with that. So with that said, you need to make sure that you pass all your, well, pass all your classes, but certainly pass all your Regents bearing classes so that you have that credit um, for when you move into high school, which, as we already established, is a big deal. Um, so anyway, I will get back to you with that, with whether or not you will get credit for the Regents exam uh, if you pass the class. And there are a handful of you out there who uh, your ability to pass this class sort of hinge on this final marking period. So make sure you get your work done. Now about the work. So every day you've noticed that I've been posting things on Google Classroom. This is where all the work comes from. I'm not going to email you any assignments. They're all coming from Google Classroom. So for example, the assignment from yesterday, if you follow the screen, was this bank closures reading. Okay, I'll click on that. This is my screen, so it looks a little bit different. I see that Wayne, Keyshawn, Abram did it. It doesn't look like Abram did any sort of annotating, so I want to get on that, Abram. But this is what your screen would look like. Okay, so it'll have the title of the assignment, the number of points, the category it's in. I also put the category here. CW stands for classwork, which is the same as instructional practice. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to give you homework on what we're going to do with those homework categories. That's something I should ask Ms. Jones. But either way, this is a classwork activity. Your instructions are here. And the Google Doc is where you're doing your work in. Any video I post on here, it's not like I'm doing Edpuzzle. This is just a video for mostly supplementary stuff. Anything you need to answer the questions is going to come from the doc itself. So if I click on this Google Doc, I'm just going to open it up. This is my version of it. Okay? And anytime you get a reading, what I would like you to do is to read annotate and answer the questions. So I think the biggest disconnect here is with annotating. Okay, how do you annotate a Google Doc? You annotate it the same way you would annotate a piece of paper, all right, using the Miss Corain highlighter routine that we've been doing. Okay, so I actually have seen two different ways of annotating. Some people have been annotating with the highlighter routine. So that would be, I don't know, I'm just going to pick random words. So that would be yellow. Watch how I'm doing this. That would be yellow for the main idea. That would be blue for an academic word or a word you don't know. That would be, whoopsie daisies, that would be pink for an answer. I'll choose this pink, and that would be green for author's strategies or whatever. Me being the author, by the way. So that's how Ms. Corain's highlighter routine works with Google Docs. All right. If you wanted to write something in the margin, this is how you do it. You highlight a piece of text, and instead of going over here, you can go over here. You can add a comment. And see how I got it right here? This is my comment. And then I write comment, and boom, it's right there in the margin. So this is how you can interact with the text the same way you would if it were on paper. So now let me go back. I can undo all my stuff. There we go. Another way I see people highlighting is they're highlighting using different colors for the different questions. Okay, so they might highlight one as red, and they might highlight the answer to number 1 as red. Okay, and then 2 and 3 you do in different colors. I'm okay with that too. All right, at the end of the day, when you guys go into high school, you may have a different highlighter routine, you may have no highlighter routine, and your teacher may not want you to highlight. Okay, but annotation isn't just highlighting. Annotation is making the text your own. It's writing on it, doing whatever you need to do to make the best sense out of it. Okay, so I'm fine with either one of those two. As far as answering the questions, most of you are doing a really good job with that. Okay, however, what I am seeing some people just writing in quotes from the reading as their answer to the question. What you have to understand is that when you add quotes into your writing, quotes are supporting something that you're trying to say. If you're not saying anything, you're not supporting anything with those quotes. So answer the question and then put in the quote. That would be great. That would be perfectly fine. Another thing I'm seeing with some of these questions is some people seem to be copying and pasting random stuff from the internet. That's not going to get it done. Read it, annotate it, and answer the questions based on the reading. Don't just find random crap on the internet. I don't want to see that. Okay? So that's about doing the readings. All right? As far as something else on Google Classroom, let me go back here to the 802 page. I have been giving you Google Forms for the purpose of counting you for attendance. Okay, I'm also just checking in to see how you're doing, see where your head's at, and in this most recent Google form to see how well you understood the 3 readings that I assigned for the Great Depression. So to do a Google form, and even if you're not doing the classwork, which you all should be doing anyway, please do the Google Forms, because this is the only way I can check your attendance if you're not doing the classwork. Okay, it's the most efficient way for me, and I'm not sure if your other teachers are doing it, but it's incredibly efficient for me. So what I'm going to do, I click on the Google form, and I always want to write in my full name. Okay, I have seen a bunch of Michaels All right, I don't know if that's Michael Asante, Michael Blakey. I got a bunch of Michaels. All right, put your full name. So I'm going to put my full name, and I'm going to answer the questions. Anytime a question is starred, that means it's required. So which of the following caused the other three? The answer to that is overproduction and overcultivation of land. Overcultivation of land led to the Dust Bowl. Overproduction of farm goods led to agricultural surplus. Agricultural surplus drove down the price of farm goods, which led to farmers defaulting on their loans. What is buying on margin? Buying on margin was the buying of stock with borrowed money from either stockbrokers or from the banks. And then, where did the rush on banks start? And this was according to the video that I attached to that reading. Came from America, the Story of Us. And the answer to that was the Bronx. And then my last question was, what's the best way to fight the boredom? I can't believe you guys are saying playing cards or board games. I didn't even think you had board games at your age. But either way, I am going to say workout, because that's the only thing that makes me feel a little bit better. All right, and I click submit, and now I should be on, let's see this, write your full name. I should be at the bottom of this. There I am. See, I checked in for the day. Ramisa did, Ty, Kashawn, Raheem, Namani, so on and so forth, okay? So that's how I check attendance. That's how I check in on you guys, see how you're doing. So tomorrow I will post another video about the times that I say that I'm live. It's usually 10 to 12 or 10:30 to 12:30, depending on whether or not I have a video conference with either Mr. Warnock or with the Social Studies Department. So that's going to be for tomorrow. So if you guys have any questions, hit me up with an email or a comment, and I'll answer the question. All right? Have a great day, and look for my video tomorrow. Bye-bye.